Have you ever wondered if your destiny is written in the stars? Could the date of your birth hold the key to a life of wealth and prosperity? In ancient times, these questions puzzled many. Today, I invite you to journey back to a time when the Buddha walked the earth, sharing his wisdom and enlightening souls. This is the tale of the Lotus of Fortune, a story that intertwines destiny, perseverance, and the timeless teachings of the Buddha. Sit back, relax, and let this enchanting story unfold, for it might just reveal a secret about your own destiny. In a quaint village nestled between emerald hills and sparkling rivers, people lived simple yet content lives. Among them was a humble potter named Kavi, known for his exceptional skill in molding clay into beautiful, intricate designs. Despite his talent, Kavi struggled to make ends meet, his heart heavy with the burden of poverty. One day, as Kavi worked diligently on his potter's wheel, an old sage wandered into the village. His eyes sparkled with wisdom, and his presence exuded a serene calmness that immediately drew people toward him. The villagers gathered around the sage, eager to hear his words. The sage spoke of destiny, fortune, and the hidden potential within every individual. He claimed that certain dates of birth were particularly auspicious, aligning with the stars in a way that promised great wealth and success. Intrigued, Kavi stepped forward and asked, "Great sage, can you tell me if my date of birth holds such promise?" The sage smiled kindly and asked for Kavi's birth date. Upon hearing it, the sage's eyes twinkled. "Kavi," he said, "you were born under the sign of the Lotus of Fortune. If you follow a path of virtue and perseverance, great wealth and prosperity await you." Despite the sage's reassuring words, Kavi couldn't help but feel skeptical. After all, he had spent years toiling away with little to show for his efforts. That night he lay awake, pondering the sage's prophecy. Was it truly possible for his fortunes to change so drastically? The next morning, Kavi decided to seek the sage's guidance. He found him meditating by the river, the gentle breeze rustling the leaves around him. "Sage," Kavi began, "how can I follow this path of virtue and perseverance you speak of? What must I do to unlock the fortune you foretold?" The sage opened his eyes and looked at Kavi with compassion. "My son, the journey to wealth and prosperity is not an easy one. It requires unwavering dedication, selflessness, and an open heart. You must first learn to see the beauty and potential in every challenge. Begin by using your craft to help others. Mold your clay not just with skill, but with love and compassion." Kavi took the sage's words to heart. He returned to his workshop with a renewed sense of purpose. Instead of creating pots for profit alone, he began crafting items that served the needs of his community. He made water jars for those without access to clean water, cooking pots for struggling families, and even tiny clay toys for children who had none. As Kavi's selfless deeds spread throughout the village, so did his reputation. People from neighboring villages began to seek out the humble potter who created with such love and care. Though Kavi's income remained modest, he found a deep sense of fulfillment in helping others. Each smile, each word of gratitude filled his heart with joy. One day, a wealthy merchant named Rajan visited the village. Hearing of Kavi's generosity and skill, he decided to commission a grand piece of pottery as a gift for a royal celebration. Rajan offered Kavi a handsome sum of money, more than Kavi had ever earned in his lifetime. Kavi was astounded but remained humble. He accepted the commission, pouring his heart and soul into the creation of a magnificent vase adorned with intricate lotus patterns. When the vase was complete, it was unlike anything anyone had ever seen. A true masterpiece. Rajan was overjoyed with the result and paid Kavi generously. News of Kavi's extraordinary talent and the exquisite vase spread like wildfire. Soon orders came flooding in from far and wide. Kavi's workshop became a bustling hub of activity, employing many villagers and lifting them out of poverty. As Kavi's wealth grew, so did the challenges he faced. Managing a large workshop, handling finances, and meeting the demands of clients required more than just skill in pottery. Kavi often felt overwhelmed, and there were moments when he doubted his ability to keep up. One evening, exhausted and disheartened, Kavi returned to the river where the sage had first spoken to him. He found the old man meditating as before. "Sage," Kavi said, his voice filled with worry, "I am grateful for the fortune that has come my way, but I fear I am losing myself in the process. How can I balance this wealth with the virtues you spoke of?" The sage opened his eyes and gave Kavi a gentle smile. "My son, wealth is but a tool. It can build or destroy depending on how it is used. Remember the path of virtue, remain humble, be generous, and stay true to your purpose. Let your wealth be a source of light and support for others, not a burden upon your soul. Taking the sage's words to heart, Kavi refocused his efforts. He used his wealth to improve the village's infrastructure, build schools, and provide for those in need. He continued to create pottery, not for the riches it brought, but for the joy it gave him and the happiness it spread. Years passed and Kavi's legacy grew. The village flourished, becoming a beacon of prosperity and kindness. Kavi's story spread far and wide, inspiring countless others to follow their passions and give selflessly. One day a young boy approached Kavi in his workshop. His eyes were filled with wonder and admiration. "Master Kavi," the boy said, "is it true that you were destined for wealth because of your birth date?" Kavi smiled warmly at the boy. "The sage told me my birth date was auspicious, but it was not destiny alone that brought me here. It was the love and compassion I put into my work, the kindness I showed to others, and the perseverance to keep going despite the hardships. Remember, young one, true wealth lies not in gold or silver, but in the hearts we touch and the lives we change." The boy nodded, absorbing Kavi's words. As he left the workshop, Kavi felt a deep sense of peace. He had come full circle, transforming not just his own life, but the lives of everyone around him. The lotus of fortune had truly bloomed, not through fate alone, but through the power of virtue and love. As the story of Kavi the potter spread across the land, it became a cherished tale, passed down through generations. It served as a reminder that while destiny might play a part in our lives, it is our actions, our kindness, and our perseverance that truly shape our fortunes. In a distant temple, a statue of the Buddha sits serenely, surrounded by lotus flowers. Pilgrims gather, reflecting on their own journeys, inspired by the tale of the humble potter who discovered that the greatest wealth of all lies within the human heart. So, dear reader, if you were born on an auspicious date, remember Kavi's story. Let it remind you that while the stars may align in your favor, it is your virtues, your compassion, and your dedication that will truly lead you to a life of wealth and fulfillment. The lotus of fortune blooms for those who nurture it with love,